impactful was Sami, and how did she give you such a hard time taking her off the floor tonight?
Yeah, goodness gracious, Sami's a really good basketball player. She's a really good basketball player. I thought she was much more aggressive, not only looking for her shot, but getting into the paint and getting to 2 feet. I think, anybody who's been listening to these pressers, all like 10 people, would know though that the 2 feet in the paint is huge. For our team, going off a one, I think she went off a one time, and Isabel just, whew, she beat it pretty hard. But in general, Sami's combination of defense, passing, getting us into stuff, attacking, finding teammates. I mean, she did everything, and she played great defense to boot. So, yeah, when Sami's locked in like that, it helps everybody. It really does. And she was just, from the outset, she was really, really locked in.
Thanks so much. Congratulations on the win.
Thanks.
Jackie Powell.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win. Can you talk about some of the decisions you made not only in this game, but in the last game, sort of calling timeouts when you saw slippages on defense? How do you think that helped this team get 2 straight wins?
I think that one of the things that we try to do is, stop bleeding or address something that's been a chronic issue. One of the things that I've done more often than not with this team is let them play, because they tend to find their way back after a few mistakes. And then we have a little bit more room at the end of the game, if we need to call a couple of quick ones or, manage the game using the timeouts. And so we're trying to save those when possible, but yeah, it's still something, that I'm learning the art of that. And it's really a feel thing as of right now. So I'm not sure if it, contributed or didn't in the last couple of wins, but hopefully it did.
To follow up, Reshonda Gray finished the game with plus 10. Although she gave the interior defense gave up some good looks to Izzy Harrison. What did you see from her tonight? Even when she and Sabrina maybe struggled a bit in the pick and roll.
From Rashonda, you mean, right?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. I kind of daydreamed a little bit. Sorry. I was thinking about the game. You said something. It made me think of a play. Anyway, yeah, Rashonda, her toughness, goodness gracious. I mean, the way she goes after rebounds, she had that big time. I don't know if it was an offensive rebound or if it was a steal at the end of the game, and she ended up getting a putback. I didn't really see exactly how it went down, but I did see the end result, and that was great. Yeah, Reshonda she's really steadied us. She gets out and runs. She plays really good physical defense. She's just been so solid for us.
Brilliant. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Doug Feinberg.
Hey, Walt, nice win. I guess you guys should petition to play more Monday night games. It seems this is rare to have one of these nights. Talk about the balanced scoring. I mean, obviously Sami had a great game, but so did Jazz, so did Betnijah, so did Sabrina. Like, it wasn't just one person stepping up tonight, it seems, on offense.
No, not at all. That's when our team is best. We're not a team that's going to try to play through one player. That's been our kind of our MO since I came in here. That's one of the things that I believe in. That I really like how dangerous a team is when they've got multiple weapons and they share the ball and they play for one another. I think that there's a lot to be said for that versus, just playing through one person for the majority of the game. I think that, while that is a way that you can win, I think a lot of teams have won that way and had great success with it. Our hope has always been to assemble a team that really shares the ball, shares the load on different nights. And that's exactly what this team has done. I think even shorthanded, they've found a way more often than not. And it's been really fun to watch. And I know that there's still a lot of room to grow. So that's exciting.
Thanks, Coach.
Jeff Magliochetti.
Coach, congratulations on the win. Thank you for joining us. I wanted to talk to you a little bit, if you could, speak to the performance of Kylie Shook out there, because you were in her ear for a majority of the first half, and then she comes out in the fourth quarter, gets some huge rebounds on the defensive end, and then follows up with a huge and one, which I believe gave your team the lead permanently. So what do you think of the way Kylie adjusted out there?
Yeah, I thought she responded really well, as she always does. She's just a true team player. Kylie just wants to do whatever's necessary to help the team win. She really, truly does. And one of the things that we talked about was her being more physical. And I just think that she's still learning how to use her strength. She's still, very, very vertical when she plays. She doesn't know how to be wide and low and strong quite yet. And she's learning. But I mean, if you look at the way her rebounds have skyrocketed, to have 8 rebounds in 16 minutes tonight, she's really made a concerted effort to continue to grow there. And I thought her defense was solid as always. I thought one of the reasons our defense struggled actually was because Kylie wasn't out there, and she's such a stalwart for us on that end in terms of executing our principles. And we really got away from our principles tonight. I know one of you guys is probably going to ask me about the defense. You should. We did not execute our pick and roll defense. We did not execute our transition defense. In a night where we don't shoot the ball as well as we did, we're going to be pretty frustrated after the game. So, we were fortunate that everybody stepped up and had good games on the offensive end, but we were pretty bad at times defensively.
I'm tempted to ask more, but I want to keep things positive, because I just want to ask how big Sami Whitcomb's interior work has helped you guys tread water while Natasha Howard heals.
Sami, I mean, you said Sami, right?
Yes, Sami Whitcomb, please.
What did you mean by interior work?
Basically, how she's been able to penetrate the interior, get some huge rebounds, and complement her outside game with some big interior baskets out there.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. That's why I asked you who it was. I wasn't sure if you misspoke and said it was a post player, because I heard interior. But yes, you're absolutely right. She's finding ways to impact the game outside of her shooting, which is so big, because there are games when teams really key in on her, as they should, and she's not going to get a ton of those open looks. And she's finding out now just how good she is when she puts the ball on the floor, how good of a playmaker she is, how good of a finisher she is. She brought the floater out the last few games, and to great effect. So no, I can't say enough about Sami and her rebounding. I don't know. I'd love to hear if one of you guys has the numbers on, shooting guard / lead guard rebounding, but Sami's got to be among the tops in the league.
Appreciate your time and insight, Coach. Thank you.
Thanks.
Cortland Griffin.
Cortland Griffin, 3-point conversion. Coach, congratulations on the win tonight. You guys seem to click on offense tonight, and it's not so much as the buckets that you guys were making, but the time at which you guys were making those baskets. Tonight, you guys really put the game away in the fourth. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, I thought we actually made some pretty tough shots in the fourth, some timely baskets, to your point. Late down the stretch, hitting a couple of big threes. Kylie's and one was really big. But I think that the team, and Sabrina in particular, I don't know how much we've talked about her yet. Sabrina has really made a concerted effort to apply some of the things that we've been working on. Something as simple as how she sets up a ball screen, using dribble holds and they go over the top, being more aggressive, attacking off the dribble, not just for herself, but for her teammates. And she's so much harder to guard now. And, it says a lot that she's been able to make and apply those adjustments so quickly into such great effect. I think that, that's probably one of the biggest reasons why our offense clicked, because she was throwing the ball ahead for layups. I don't think we've had a game this year. In fact, I'm sure we haven't had a game this year where we threw 4 early throw aheads for layups. And I think they were all Sab. So yeah, I think that she deserves a lot of the credit for how the offense clicked, in addition to, the usual suspects, Sami and Betnijah, who always keep us going. They always find a way. And Jasmine as well really stepped up. Reshonda stepped up. I mean, it was just a really very much a team win.
And also, you guys had a lot of bench production tonight, especially from Jazz. She came off the bench and she provided the spark plug, but she also just kind of fit with everyone else. And she seems to have done that when she's come in this season. Can you speak about Jazz and her impact?
Yeah, Jazz's biggest challenge has always been her consistency. And it's one of the things that I've challenged her on throughout the season. To see Jazz string together games now, I'm really proud of her. I'm really proud of her maturity, proud of her growth, because it's difficult. She and I are wired similarly. We're both, fiery, and we have ups and downs, and I think we understand each other in that regard. And so to see her be able to kind of harness, frustration, emotion, all of it, and play heavy minutes in big stretches for us now in a few games. It's been really fun to watch. It's been really, really fun to watch her growth, and the ability to go to someone like her on the bench and know that you're going to get something on both ends of the court. It's really a luxury. So having a consistent Jasmine Jones has been a big time shot in the arm for us.
Thank you, Coach.
Rafiq Lewison.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win. Reshonda Gray put in some serious work scoring inside from the passes from Sabrina. What are your thoughts about the way she came off the bench as well?
Yeah, I think people trust her hands so much. They'll throw passes to her that they might not throw to other players, in the league, because she just really has a couple of baseball gloves there attached to her arms, and just nothing gets past her. So I think that and her ability to finish consistently, being 5 of 6 from the field, those 7 rebounds, and really solid defense. We joked that she had only 3 fouls, which is probably a career low, because she really just plays so hard all the time. And to see her continue to find ways to impact this team positively, it's been really fun. She's just been so good for us, really, in every game she's been here. So we're really thankful for her.
And was this game tonight everything you expected as far as how competitive Dallas was going to be, considering it's a matchup between 9 teams? Well, it was a matchup between 9 teams because Liberty is now 10-9.
Yeah, it was, in terms of competitiveness. It's a really good team. I mean, it's what we talked about pregame, right? They're really talented. They're competitive. They're tough. They're athletic. They're physical. They whooped us inside tonight. They absolutely whooped us, and they have a lot of weapons. So, yeah, that's a tough team. That was a really, really big win for us, and I think it shed some light. You really hope that the times you have lessons that you have to take away from games, big lessons like we had on defense tonight, that you can still find a way to come out with a win, and our players did that. So really proud of them and happy about that.
Well, hopefully we have the same luck against Indiana.
Absolutely.
Last question, Gigi Spear.
Hi, Coach. Gigi Spear, WFUV Radio. Congrats on the win and your highest scoring game of the season. So to talk about defense, like you asked us to do, how are you looking to balance having high scoring games like tonight and also shut teams down on the defensive end for the next 2 games or for coming back from the break in August?
I think coming back from the break and having a healthy, rested team is going to make a big difference. Multiple efforts. There are times where, it was very clear that players were just tired and, they'd miss a box out or something like that, but that stuff adds up. And a team like Dallas that can throw waves of players at you, and there's just not a weak player coming off the bench. They're all talented, athletic, young, energetic. That was challenging for us tonight, but I thought that in general, at the most important times, we stepped up and answered.
Thank you so much, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Next up, we have Sami Whitcomb. Please raise your hands if you have questions for Sami. Miles Ehrlich.
Hi, Sammy. Congratulations on the win tonight. You had a really big scoring game, and a lot of that came from the ball movement. The team had a season high 27 assists, and Sabrina and Betnijah combined for 19 of those. How does their unselfish play as leaders contribute to building confidence for you and for your teammates?
I mean, it's huge. It's pretty rare when people who can score, and do score, 20 plus points a game are also incredibly willing passers and really happy to find people when they attract so much attention, and they both do. I mean, I think there was a possession where B got the ball in the post and had I think literally 4 of their team was guarding her, defending her. Like, it's crazy. And Sab's so good coming off that pick and roll. So when they're finding people and they're looking for people and they're happy to give up what's probably a good shot by them to get other people great shots, it's great for our team, and it's really contagious. And it's one of those things that everybody starts doing it, and it's fantastic.
Thanks so much. Congratulations on the great game and on the win.
Thanks.
Jeff Magliochetti.
Sammy, thank you for joining us. Congrats on a big win. Your interior work has helped this team tread water while Natasha Howard heals. So what's been the secret behind the evolution, behind the upgrade in your interior game, where you've gotten so many big rebounds and so many big shots on the inside?
Yeah, I think in terms of the rebounding, it's a focus for us for sure, because sometimes we are undersized. And it's obviously really difficult for the bigs to, I think, box out other bigs and then go get the rebound too. Like, that's a tough task. So I think it's a focus for all of our guards really to kind of come in and crash and get those boards. You'll often see Sab with lots of rebounds, B with lots of rebound. Like, all of our guards know it's a focus for sure. And I think sometimes I just happen to be, I'm the one that ends up getting it, whether it's aggression or just, the ball bounces to me kind of thing. But it's definitely something I focus on. And yeah, for me, I think coming here, we've talked a lot about shot credibility and that I have that. And if I can use that to create as well, like B and Sab and Jazz and all of our guards do for everybody else, again, it just helps us offensively create those better looks. So I've tried to, not settle for shots and to get into the paint a bit more and kick out.
Appreciate your time and insight. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Jackie Powell.
Hey, Sammy. Congratulations on the win. I wanted to build off of Miles's question a little bit. Can you talk to us about how you all move past the more stagnant isolation style play, not letting Betnijah do too much? How did you all get out of those habits and really sharing the ball better tonight?
I think we started the year kind of doing, the ball movement and really finding each other well. And then I think it just became a case of, Betnijah was so good and attracting so much attention and does so much for us that, we probably got lazy and we just got a little bit like we expected for B to do those things, and we know she can. And I think it was just a case of like, we weren't focused. We weren't executing. We were letting people's pressure affect us. There were probably a number of things really. But I think, we were locked in tonight on the things we needed to do. And like I said, when B and Sab start the game that way and they're really creating and looking for other people, I don't know. I just think there's a trickle down effect and it leads to everybody else doing the same thing. So that for us is for sure a focus. It's an execution thing. And it can be hard, I think, to get out of that sometimes. But when we have success with that, particularly early in a game, it's easier to kind of continue that.
Brilliant. I appreciate that. And also, so although y'all were able to hold Arike at 12 points, Coach Hopkins spoke about how the defense didn't have as great of a showing tonight. How do you all, feel the hard work that went into this win, but you also know that the defense has to keep getting better and can't sleep against the fever?
Yeah, no, for sure. There were things that we definitely didn't execute the way we wanted to. And, we're never going to be perfect, but we obviously want to, about execution for us, like I said. So when we're not executing things, that's different than just, someone had a great shooting night or whatever it was. Like, it was controllable things for us. So we want to obviously tighten those things up. And I think, we were able to rely on our offense a bit more because we were executing so well there that it made up for some of the lapses we had defensively. But absolutely, this will be something that we can look at and grow from and continue to improve on. And obviously it's a lot easier and more enjoyable to do that when you get the win. So
For sure. Thanks so much, and congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Doug Feinberg.
Hey, Sammy, you mentioned it on the court a little bit, but how big was this win for you guys in the standings? It's such a glut of teams that are all around like 500.
Yeah, it was huge. I think in particular because Dallas is one of those teams. I think we had the same record, or we were very close. So to get that win was really big for us. I think as well to string together a couple of wins. We've been very up and down. We typically, we either like win 2, then lose, or lose 2, then win 1, then like we just haven't really been able to get into a good rhythm since the beginning of season. So I think for us as well, in terms of building momentum, in terms of feeling good, in terms of just continuing to improve, it was really massive. And I thought it was a gritty win too. We played 4 quarters, I think. Again, we weren't perfect, but in terms of our energy and our focus, that's been a huge thing for us, not having lapses from quarter to quarter. And I didn't think that we did that.
Thanks, Sammy.
Thank you.
Cortland Griffin.
Cortland Griffin, 3-point conversion. How are you, Sammy?
Good, thanks.
And so tonight, you play within the offense, and you always play within the offense, and you do so many little things for this team. But you also give this offense big shot potential. You hit so many big shots from the perimeter, in the paint, and just also find your teammates. Can you speak about that and how you interact and impact the offense and what your attitude?
Yeah, I think for sure it's obviously a big part of our game. We want to create for the shooters and find the shooters. And I thought, the last few games, I think we'd done that, and I just hadn't been knocking down shots, honestly. And so it was really nice to be able to see some go through the hoop, particularly when I know people are, creating and looking for me and finding me. That's always a really nice feeling. And I think it just opens up so much for everybody else when we are knocking down those outside shots. It creates that bit more space for all of our creators in the paint. So that was, I think, really helpful. And it's something I'm always trying to do, obviously. I want to knock down shots. And then I want to also, this game, I was able to do it a little bit more. I think I need to do it with a little bit more poise moving forward, but just getting into the paint. And if I have the look, great. If I don't, try and find someone as well for a better shot.
Rafiq Lewison.
I want to get your thoughts on the franchise record of 15 3-pointers and the first winning streak in over a month.
Yeah, I think both are great. And I think, the 3-point shooting for us is obviously a focal feature of our offense. And when we're knocking down shots, that's great for us. It creates so many other advantages for us and opportunities for us to get into the paint. I thought we were moving the ball really well, which is probably the biggest thing that it speaks to, the number of assists we had. That's huge for us. And yeah, I said it earlier, the getting back-to-back wins is huge, particularly now going into this break. We want to be able to build a lot of momentum, feel really good, get any kind of cushion we can in terms of the standings, and just continue to build on the things that we're trying to do. And I thought that we did that, and that's really big for us.
Gigi Spear.
Hi, Sammy. Thank you for being with us, and congrats on the win. I know you must be tired, so appreciate your time here. You had a huge hustle play when it came when you saved the ball at the baseline in the 3rd quarter. How important are those plays for you and for the team on high-scoring nights like tonight to keep up not only a respect for the game, but also energy that lasts throughout the entire game?
Yeah, it's a big part of what I try and bring. And I feel like when I'm doing those things, it really helps the group. I also feel like when I'm doing those things, it usually means I'm locked in. It usually means I'm really engaged on both ends of the floor. So I also think that that's really important for me. And it's great, I think, in terms of building that momentum for the team. I think it's something that when one person does something like that, another person does, and it's just a contagious thing for this group. Our fire, our energy, playing with that hustle. You saw it last game with Jazz, and I think that was huge for all of us. We fed off of her, and hopefully it was something that people could feed off of me tonight. But yeah, always that energy and that effort and hustle are big things for us.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Last question, Heaven Hill.
Hey, Sammy, congrats on the win tonight. Phenomenal performance. You hit quite a few threes down the stretch, one of which I think ricocheted off of Enrique's face before Betnijah slapped it to you, and you hit that one in the corner. Can you talk about what was going through your mind that play, or that sequence, I should say?
I was just hoping B was going to get me the ball and we were going to be able to get it in that corner because I felt like it was going to be a good shot for us. And I knew she'd be looking for me. It was just a case of whether or not we could get it. And then I wasn't really thinking. I just shot the ball and then it went in. So that was exciting. But that was probably the extent of my thought.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sammy. Next up, Betnijah Laney. Jeff Magliochetti.
Betnijah, thank you for joining us. Congratulations on a big win tonight. You're on a team now that is ridiculously deep, as we discovered tonight. It's a great combination of, both rookie talents and, Dee Dee coming off the bench and some sophomores and Jazz and Nay, and of course, Reshonda Gray, perhaps the most experienced person on this team other than Sammy. So what can you say about the depth of this team and what sort of confidence does it gives you that this second team can pick you up and keep up the pace in a game as crucial as this?
Yeah, we have a lot of depth. Everybody that came in was able to contribute and contribute in a big way. Just the energy and everything that's been coming off the bench, these past few games has really, carried us. And so I'm just, I'm really thankful and happy. And, I think that it shows us, what we're capable of to be able to sustain, throughout the rest of the season.
How important was it to jump out to a big lead on Dallas tonight? I believe the lead got as high as 10 in the first quarter. So how big was it to jump out early? Because you guys have had some trouble starting games, but how big was it to open up tonight?
It was really important for us, to not find ourselves in that same position as the last game. But I think we're finally coming together, and we've been doing what we've been talking about all season, putting it together for 4 quarters. And I think that's what we did tonight. And, I'm just happy with the result.
Appreciate your time and insight. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Jackie Powell.
Hey, Betnijah, congratulations on the win. So when I asked Sammy earlier about if All-Star was something that could happen for her as well, she shrugged it off. But after tonight's performance, it's got me thinking about this 3-point shooting contest that happens during All-Star weekend. Why do you think Sammy should be a part of that?
She should definitely be a part of that. Just, her shot speaks for herself. If you check her shooting percentage, she's shooting over 50%. So I don't think that she's number 1 in the league. So if she's not in the 3-point contest, I would be really, really surprised.
Brilliant. Also, so Reshonda Gray finished the game, I believe, with a +10. Although she gave up some looks to Izzy Harrison, what did you see her bring for you guys tonight, even when maybe she couldn't catch everything that Sabrina was throwing at her?
She brings a lot. She brings energy. She brings physicality. She gives us offense and defense. So even though, it may not have been her best game, it's a team sport, and we were able to, pick her up when she needed it. And, regardless of that, she brings that same energy every night, which is really important for us.
And the final one for me, although you were able to hold Enrique to 12 points tonight, Coach Hopkins spoke about how he didn't think the defense didn't have as great of a showing tonight. So how do you all, feel and embrace the hard work that went into this win, but also know that the defense has to keep getting better and that you guys can't sleep against the Fever?
Yeah, it does. They had a few transition points and everything, and just were able to score a little easier than we would have liked. So even though we got the win, we still have to, focus on the things that didn't go well and, pick up on that for this next game.
Thanks so much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Miles Ehrlich.
Hey, Betnijah, congratulations on the win. Tonight, you and Sabrina combined for 19 of the team's season high 27 assists. Just how were the two of you able to break down the Dallas defense and find so many open teammates who hit, which was a franchise record, 15 threes tonight?
Yeah, just being observant, just taking what the defense is giving us, just making sure that we're moving the ball and finding our teammates, and they just did a really good job of finishing.
Thanks. And Reshonda Gray had another really impactful game today and made a very smart basketball play at the very end, tipping the ball up in the air to run the clock out. I believe Jazz described her last game out as coachable, and time again, she really steps up down the stretch. What has she done to what has she done to so quickly become an invaluable member of this team? Because she's been in and out of the lineup.
Yeah, no, I mean, she's experienced. She's a veteran in this league and on this team. So, just her being her and just bringing that energy, just making smart plays, she's been really good for us, and we're just happy to have her back.
Thanks so much. Congrats on the win, and sorry for interrupting you so much.
Oh, no, it was me.
Last question, Rafiq Lewison.
I want to get your thoughts on the plays that Sabrina made, and she made those crazy touchdown passes to her teammates in the win. What are your thoughts on that?
She's a really great point guard. I'm glad that she's feeling better, and she's just been contributing in big ways. Scoring, finding her teammates, playing defense. She had 2 blocks. So just to have her and everything that she brings to the game and everything she means to this team is really good for us.
Great, thanks, Betnijah. Next up, we have Sabrina Ionescu. Please raise your hands with questions for Sabrina. Media availability post game, I present to you Sabrina Ionescu, everyone.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
It's great. Doug Feinberg.
Sab, it's always great to see you in the post game. Means you had a good game usually.
Thank you.
Yeah. I got 2 for you. Just how big was this win for the standings purposes? I mean, there's such a glut of teams right now, all within 2 games of each other for those 3rd through 10th or 11th spots right now.
Yeah, it's huge, and we know that. We know every game is important, especially leading into this break. I think we want to end strong. We want to end on a good note and continue to get better. And then while, we're away on break, keep growing on what we need to do, and then we can come back and kind of hammer home on what we need to accomplish and get better on to finish the season strong. But, we take into consideration all those things, but at the end of the day, every single game is important. Every single possession is. So it was awesome to see the fight and the determination that we had tonight to grind out this win to a very good team.
And I saw you looking at the stat sheet there. Is it the 27 assists of the team that stood out, or the franchise record 15 threes, or both?
The 15 threes, we shot the ball really, really well. We moved the ball well, as coach was saying. We went from good to great, on passes. We gave up some good opportunities, for shots for even better ones with the +1s and the reading off the pick and roll. So it's been really nice to see our improvement on the offensive end. And, we got to get better and clean up a lot of stuff defensively. But offensively, I thought we shared the ball really well and hit down shots, and was really proud of everyone that was able to do that.
Thanks, Sabrina.
Jackie Powell.
Hey, Sabrina, good to see you. When I asked Sami earlier about All-Star and asking her if it was something that she could envision for herself, she sort of pushed it aside, and she shrugged it off. But now there's this 3-point contest that happens during All-Star weekend as well. Why do you think that Sami should be a part of that?
Because she's one of the best, if not the best, 3-point shooters in the league. So she should have every single right to be able to participate that, play in that, compete for that, for herself, for our team, for all the hard work that she's put in. She's coming in and giving us such a lift, whether it's shooting, her ability to rebound as a guard, her leadership, everything that she's been doing. We're all leaning on her for advice and for her leadership, but at the same time, she's one of the best shooters in this league. And so none of that stuff really matters. All-Star, none of that stuff matters as long as she keeps shooting well for us and we put her in a position to score and play well and she stays healthy. But that would be pretty cool to be able to see her do that.
Brilliant. And can you talk to us a little bit how you all moved past this more stagnant isolation style of play, not letting Betnijah do too much? How did you all get out of those habits, into sharing the ball better?
Yeah, we're just getting used to one another, and Betnijah's, our best scorer. She's probably one of the best scorers in this league. And so it's really easy to kind of default to get her the ball and get out the way. And sometimes we need to do that. But I think on a night like tonight, when we were shooting the ball so well, it was really nice to see everyone pass the ball, share it, and get great shots. And she did that as well. I mean, she's a willing passer. She's a great passer for us, and she's able to pass out of the post, or she's able to pass as she's cutting. And she loves doing that as well. And so I thought it was great. We played off her, she played off us, and vice versa.
Thanks so much, Sabrina, and congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Jeff Magliochetti.
Sabrina, congratulations on the win. Thank you for joining us. So earlier this morning, we got to speak to Reshonda Gray, and I asked her about the relationship you two have built thus far, and she compared it, she called it a bit, she credited a bit to Pac-12 chemistry a little bit, you guys working together on the Conference of Champions, and she said it reminded her of the relationship she had with Sharman Smith and Brittany Boyd over at Cal. So what can you say about the relationship that you have built with Reshonda, and what's the best thing that you can learn from her, a fellow Pac-12 veteran?
Yeah, we've had a great relationship from the get-go, just talking to one another, figuring out what, I can do for her, she can do for me. And so we've just continued to build that relationship. And so even while she was gone, I know before she left, I told her, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And that's exactly what she did. She's coming here ready to play, ready to contribute to us as a team. And she's putting up great numbers and great minutes and really helping us. And so it's been an honor to just watch her be a pro and, not worry about whether she's here, whether she's not, any of that other stuff. But just when she's here, she's present in the moment, wanting to learn, wanting to get better, and ultimately being a great, lift for us off the bench. And she's helped us win a lot of these games recently.
Appreciate your time and insight. Congrats, Sabrina.
Thank you.
Karina Mustafa.
Hey, Sabrina, congrats on the win. Thanks for joining us. So ball movement was a big part of tonight's offense. You know, Sami talked a bit about how the games have been up and down recently. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the chemistry that this team is starting to build to become more consistent.
Yeah, but I mean, ball movement was a huge part of that, but I think it's just figuring out, what our strengths and weaknesses are on the offensive and defensive end, but, especially offensively, just where we can get shooters the ball, plays that we can run, sets that we can run, and mismatches that we can find. And I think we did a great job of that tonight. Our coaching staff does a great job of that every single night. The X's and O's part of figuring out where to put us in a position to succeed and score and be the best players that we can. But I think we're starting to figure out as well, Sami's hot. How can we get her a three? We want Betnijah in the post. Let's run this set. And the more that we're able to continue to practice together and play together, I think the better it's going to get. So we're going to continue to get better. This isn't, nearly as good as we can play offensively. So that's the exciting part.
Thank you so much.
Miles Ehrlich.
Hey, Sabrina, you and Betnijah combined for 19 of the team's season high 27 assists tonight. And Sami talked a few minutes ago about your willingness to pass up good shots for great shots and how that helps to build confidence for your teammates. On a night like tonight, where you hit a franchise record 15 threes as a team, how big was that consistent shot making and how do you build on that going forward?
Yeah, it was. I don't even think we noticed it as we were playing. We were hitting shots and I think we could have hit more, honestly. But, just our ability to get into a paint, make reads, know when people like to cut or when they like to spot up. And when there's such great shooters, there's usually about 4 or 5 great shooters on the floor every time. It's kind of pick your poison. Who are we hitting this time for a shot? And so, we were able to get into the paint, draw defense, draw help and kick. And so it's been fun to see our growth in doing that. And I think we're going to continue to get better and shoot the ball a lot better.
Thanks. And talking about shooting the ball so well, Sami Whitcomb had 26 points tonight on 10 of 16 shooting and made 6 of those threes and was also second on the team with 7 rebounds while playing a team high 36 minutes. Just how impactful was Sami tonight on both ends, especially diving after loose balls and just never quitting out there?
Yeah, I mean, whether the ball goes in or not, she's going to come in and play her heart out and do whatever she can for this team to win. And I think that's contagious. And so she gets rewarded. She's such a great player. She's able to score. She's able to get to the basket. She's able to pass and she rebounds. And so during the flow of the game, we're playing, we're going, we're trying to get her, her open and get her shots because we know most of the time they're going to go in. And so it's really nice to see a player like that that's come into this year and been such a leader for us, but also has just been wanting to learn and get better and see where she can improve on. It's really nice to see her put up these numbers because she deserves it. She's this good. She does it in practice every single day. And this is a standard that she's set now. Now I'm going to be holding her to 6 and 11 every single night.